Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Chris, I hadn't done this in a minute, some years, but I just want to get on here and talk. I'm coming as an observer. I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor. I'm a participant of life. And I'm coming at this only as an observer and what I experience and conversations with people, men and women, I want to talk about men and women and, relationships, marriages, But I want to, we all know they saying the divorce rates are high. Preferably women are initiating it. Men are in sexless marriage, And which of these I've seen with my own eyes and talked to people, Had some experience with myself just in a relationship. I've never been married, But just looking at videos and talking with people and people talking to me, just random people and people that's close to me over the years. And I also was a household mover. I was a supervisor and a driver. So I've talked to different people from different walks of life. I've moved people, and I've had these conversations. I've been in some situations where guns were involved, the police was involved, and this domestic situations, and they're doing our job, and but these stuff happens, And I've had conversations with these people, as me being a supervisor, you interact more with the customer, and depending on how big the move, you might have a one-day move or you might have a whole week move, depending on how big the house. And you're seeing these people. So, of course, you're not just going to talk about move. You're going to just get to know the people and talk about things. And so, get to what I want to talk about. I want to talk about what's not being said. For instance, with your wedding vows, if you look at your wedding vows and what it says, to death do us part, for better or for worse, and blah, blah, blah. And like Kevin Samuels touched, who was so controversial, it does not say anything about happiness. And the happiness part is what we should have been taught. And this is going to tie into what I'm going to talk about. I just, had a thought. But you can't make nobody happy, or nobody can't make you happy but you. You only can make yourself happy. And we tend to forget that. And we weren't brought up, didn't nobody elaborate that or put that into context. Nobody, say, now, remember when you get married or you with someone, it's not their job to make you happy. They are a byproduct. But was you rather told that? You just told to get married. So That's the unspoken language. And that's something that is expected for you to know. You're expected to know when you go into a marriage and all of that, blah, 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 you are responsible for your own happiness. But if you wasn't taught that, this period with life, how you gonna know? So you're gonna go in expecting that the person you with to make you happy. And that's where the conflict gonna come in when it's not built like that. So what I want to talk about is attractiveness and sex. Attractiveness and sex. Mainly attractiveness, but a little bit of sex. We got to come to a point where we can balance the two. It's right in our face. Now, man is no more than a woman, and a woman is no more than a man. We are equal. God is not finna make one being more than the other, because it take both of us to create a child. A man can't make a child by himself, and a woman can't by her. So it just, we serve different purposes, and each purpose is not greater than the other. We're different as far as anatomy, by emotionally, psychologically. We even talk differently. Men are more direct with their words. Women are not so direct. And that's the problem, the language. And I will say, some of us men are listening to women with the I am better than you mindset, or I'm beneath you. I mean, yes, most women do want a man that's better than them, whether they admit it or not. But I'm talking about for us, the man, when you're communicating with the woman, you might have to step off that stool when you communicate with your woman. Not saying that she's a less communicator than you, because for us, emotionally, they got that. That's their home field advantage. Logic is our, so we're gonna have to find a way to stoop to each other's, communication level, so we can, get an understanding, because women are saying what's the issue, but we're not listening. And it stems from provider and security. That's the issue. Provider and security. That's the issue. Just like those wedding vows and happiness is the unspoken language. Provide and security. When you tell your daughters, men and women, because men are guilty of it too. Men will tell their daughters, men will be in a relationship with a woman or married to a woman who's quote unquote independent and giving him a hard time, challenging him, blah, 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 saying he don't need a man, blah, 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 and all of that. Well, go through that with the woman and he's struggling with that, but will tell his daughter to be independent. Don't need no man. I know this because I've had conversations. I've gone back and forth with a couple people. Hey, you been hypocritical. If this is the issue over here with you, why are you trying to create the issue that's going to be a future problem with your daughter? We're going to get to that. So, the attractiveness and the sex is the unspoken language. Now, hear me out. Going back to the communication and the way women receive things and men receive things. We are telling our daughters, which is ain't no wrong with it. We're telling our daughters to go out and find a man who's gonna provide for you, protect you, and secure you. That's it. That's all they're hearing. Get a man who's gonna take care of you, who's gonna love you. Which is ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. That's what I want my daughter to do. But listen to what we're telling them. It's one-sided. We're telling her in our mind, we may mean, yeah, make sure you like the person, but we're not saying it. And we're telling the woman to get a provider and some man who's gonna take care of you, but what is she receiving from what was being told to her? Could it be that's all that she's receiving? So just get me a man who provide for me, who's gonna take care of me, blah, blah, blah. But what's not being said? But at the same, but make sure you like him too. Women are sitting here telling us, okay, I was with a good man for 15, 20 years. Or I did what I was supposed to do. He was a good man. He took care of this. He took care of that, blah, blah, blah. But I just emotionally, he wasn't available, or I wasn't satisfied emotionally, blah, blah, blah. It's the same similar story most of the time with each woman. Steph Curry, Ayesha, allegedly, I guess that's how this YouTube thing work. Alicia Curry been out there bashing Steph Curry. And people are sitting here like wondering, wouldn't nobody know her if it wasn't for him. But what was she told? And we all grew up, whether we admit it or not, I know I grew up mostly hearing how to treat a woman. I ain't too much hear how I need to be treated as well. No, I ain't hear no kind of reciprocity, no kind of, the woman need to reciprocate this or need to show blah, blah, blah. I didn't hear that. I know Pimp God, shout out to Pimp God, he got an audio book, what your mama should have told you. I remember I was working when I was delivering appliances up there in Swanee, about Flowery Branch by, where the Atlanta Falcons practice. I was working for Lowe's warehouse. And what's so crazy, the person at the time I was working with, that particular day, we had a customer. We was delivering to a customer named Kevin Samuels. Can't make this up. And when we on the way to the next address, I'm looking at the address and the name, and I showed somebody, hey, bro, look. He was like, nah. I said, bro, look at the name. But when we pulled up, we were like, nah, okay. And when the man came out, we were like, but he had his own experiences just because of his name. But that's a whole nother story itself. But we had a conversation, and I would ask them, like, how come we were never taught? On how a woman should treat us. You know what both their answer was? Like, how come our mothers didn't teach us how a woman's nature and how we should be treated? Because they ain't no man. They think they're not supposed to teach you. I'm like, huh? I said, no. Listen to what I'm saying. Just like women were taught how men should treat them and blah, 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 and all of that. And they were, how come we weren't taught how we need to be treated more or less a woman's nature? Like, how come our mama didn't, and it wasn't her place and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? But that's another story itself. Men were taught to take care of a woman, take care of your family, blah, blah, blah. Be a man. Deal with it. Yeah, a woman, she gonna act like a child, blah, 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 blah. Both sides were taught stuff. But that's the program. That's what but they're not listening to what I'm saying. They ain't even, but they have the issues as well with women. Like, and for what I understand, the reason that your mother or the women in your family in general didn't tell you about woman nature, because it could have been a possibility that they're talking about themselves. But that's a whole nother subject. But we was on the talk. I only heard one side. And like I say, I'm just on here just talking, So I might be jumping from, but just, it's bear with me. But how often was men out there, how often did you hear how to be treated? And women, tell the truth. Because we're at a point now that we got to come to the table. We got to have these talks, whether we like it or not. We got to have these talks. We got to have this sit down. And we got to be honest. And traditions about to be broken. It's a tradition for traditions to be broken. And some old stuff that we were taught, old programs, I'm a firm believer, if it ain't broke, don't fix. But I am a firm believer, you can tweak it a little bit. You can redefine it a little bit. Due to the times. But women and how they feel and what they think is just important as the man. God didn't make it like that. So we're not listening to what they're saying. From the videos of Anton Daniels, shout out to him, to Crimson Cure, shout out to her. And she even made a video about what I'm talking about. So some lady, and it was more about sex in the church. Shout out to especially BGS, Dr. T.S.L. Johnson. I agree with most of everything they're saying. But labeling women evil and men ain't shit and all that, the name calling, pointing the finger when it's 3 pointing back at you. God got a sense of humor now. We are not going to get nowhere. We're going to have to sit down and actually see what's going on. Yes, there are some evil women out there. There's some evil men out here. I have always said that by us being different, of course, what a woman do and all of that, her getting an abortion and all that, of course, to a man, that would be extreme. That's extreme anyway, but of course, that would be extreme. But that's what a woman do. That's part of what she do when she get on that vibration. She's not evil, that's just what she do. And men have their own thing, which is balance, because this universe is about balance. That, of course, to the woman, because they're not a man, so yes, something that he may do, that's it. They gonna look at it as extreme because they're a woman. But from a woman's standpoint, her getting an abortion, other women will understand that. Even if it's, but they understand why. And for that man who might, let's say, walk in, see his wife, blah, 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 with another man, shoot both her brains out, shoot him, blah, 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 crimes of passion. But men understand why he did it, even though it was wrong, even like, why you couldn't walk away? Or with the woman, shoot, you knew that was gonna happen, you ain't run protection, why you can't just be responsible for what you have caused? But it's understanding why they did it, depending on the situation. It's just the vibration that the man was on at the time and the vibration that the woman was on at the time. So that being said, these women are saying it, but they don't speak directly like us men. You got men in sexless marriages. Now, we don't want to look at sex, but it's right there in our face. We can't ignore it. And I get it. You got the sexual liberation and blah, blah, blah. Sex has always been the one that has presence, has been known, but we slide it up on the road. It's like you walking into your house and you keep sweeping shit up under the rug. Eventually, you ain't gonna be able to walk in your house because there's so much dirt that's under the rug. You be trying to ignore it. This where we at. Shout out to Ron Wills. It's simple. Man ain't turning the woman on. The woman don't like the man. Now, yes, it's some situations where people are getting used. It's not genuine, It's ulterior motives, I'm not talking about that. I want to talk about what's the better formula. The formula is better when two people like each other. You ever wonder why you still able to see older people who've been married for 30, 40 years? I see it all the time. They ain't having sex. They're too goddamn old. No, some of them having sex at that age. But you see the 60, 70, 80-year-old couples walking around and they holding hands. Talking, blah, blah, blah. And even the older couples that they interview, you see on YouTube, they interview and they just talk about their life and blah, blah, blah. They like each other. The woman liked the man. The woman liked the man. And still is. That's why I said in the beginning, you got to find that balance because eventually sex going to wear down. We're going to get old. That's the reality of it. But we can't say sex is not important when we do sex. We use sex to bring in life. I don't know why we're trying to sit here and ignore this shit. The church have its play in it. Society and all. We're sitting here trying to ignore sex and attractiveness. Something that's natural. Nature. Now, when we tell women to get a provider and somebody who's going to take care of them and blah, 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 she's not hearing, could it be possible that she's not hearing that I need to be attracted to them? Now, they say men are disposable. Yes, we are. When we on the providing and giving security, now y'all say marriage or contracts, it's like a business. Well, businesses are disposable. What are we talking about? If one party ain't giving the next party what they signed that contract for, what they promised, and all of that, what gonna happen? They gonna move on to the next company that can provide it. It's the reward. What attracted me to you And what you gonna offer me? But for another company to do business with another company, it's some attraction is there. That company is doing something that the other company likes. Is doing something. It want to be a part of it. I want to benefit from that. What are we talking about? And we say marriage is a contract. It's a business. So if a man is only there to provide and take care of the woman, be a security for him and the family, and that's what the woman was told to look for, didn't nobody really necessarily tell her she had to like the person. Hello? We see it in the smallest things. Dating. And these women sit here saying, I need a man to pay for my food. I need a man to pay for... Where do we think that stand from? A woman can go out on a date and don't even, is not even attracted to the man, can go out to eat with the man, ain't even attracted to the man and all that. What are we talking about? It's right in our face. She wasn't told she had to like the man. She was just told to get a man to take care of her. Women are saying, I did what I was told. It didn't work. They are saying, yes, I got a good man. He was a good man. They say, women, their emotions don't lie. Women are saying they got a good man. They were told to get a good man. But could it be possible they was told not? They weren't told that they had to like the man. That's the common denominator. When you was in kindergarten or first grade, and you wrote on that paper, do you like me, yes or no? We have erased likeness out of relationships. Now, going back to what I said at the beginning, attractiveness and sex, Now, you can be attracted to someone and the sex, depending on the experience that the person had, preferably, let's say the man, because we're talking about preferably women on this video. Some men don't really have that much experience having, sexual partners like that. So they don't know how to get a woman. But the attraction is there. You're going to have sometimes where, yeah, the attraction is there, but the man don't know how to please the woman due to experience. Now, that's a sacrifice on the women. And I know most women don't like to teach. But if you really like that man, and he got the equipment that you like, he got the potential. Because we say potential, but all other areas, but we don't talk about sex. But we talking about the attractiveness that she liked this man. Are you willing to show him what he need to do to get you? Now, you got situations in this how most, especially in the black community, this how most of kids come out of wedlock and all of that. You got the opposite. You ain't really attracted to that person. You don't really like that person, but the sexual energy was there, And you got to that point, the sex was real good, but you don't like the person. And I have had conversations with women. I have had these conversations. They can only last so long. And sometimes babies come out of that. Because eventually, you know, it's going to become protected, going to go from unprotected sex and all of that. And y'all don't even like each other, but the sex good. Now you got a child. You got two people who really didn't like each other. The sex was just good, but they got a baby now. And society tell them, work it out with that child because of that child. Which is understandable. Y'all made your bed, now lay in it. But you don't think there's going to be a lot of friction there? Because the people that really didn't like each other in the first place. Now, it's on them for being careless. But that's how it happened. We're talking about reality. Well, I'm having a conversation that people don't want to have. But I'm talking about the formula. When two people actually like each other and it's genuine, the issues I think that the issues that you go through in your relationship or marriage is all that, it'll be easier to work through opposed to if it's one-sided or y'all don't like each other at all, but for whatever reason, this was best for the kids or blah, 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 or the look or the name or whatever we got going on. You got people who are acting like robots in their relationships and marriages. For whatever reason. And it's not authentic, it's not genuine. Now, I'm not saying that this will work all the time because still humans are humans. But I'm talking about what's the better formula. Even with the older people, man, I tell you, I don't have conversation, man. You got couples that are in their 60s still having sex. Why? Could it be they still attracted to each other? The woman still attracted to that man? Could it be? Because, men, we can't have sex with somebody that we don't like. We done been there before. The quote unquote, take one for the team. Dang, man. Okay, man. We don't even want to do that, but we doing it for the boys. We can't. Sometimes if we don't cooperate, they ain't go. But we ain't want to do that. So now we telling a woman that's different from us. It takes way more to turn her on with us. When we get, we ready. It don't matter how you look. If that, we gonna, a woman is not like that. She's not like that. Why we don't want to talk about that? And we will expect a woman to be with a man for 10, 15, 20, 30, 35 years and she don't like him. And as an individual, we can't even be around yet help somebody that we don't like. What are we talking about here? We can't even hardly be on a job that we don't like. Even if we're making a sacrifice to do that job for whatever, pay bills or blah, 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 but it's going to show in our life the unhappiness, the depression, the stress, it going to show. And that's with anything in life. If you don't like it, you won't be able to hide it. So why, when it comes to relationships and all that, we try to, the aspects that matter in other areas of life, we try to sweep it under the rug with relationships. But we say relationships is a business. Marriage is a business. We compare it to other stuff now. But we try to throw out the aspects that we compare them to. Make it make sense. We say marriage is a contract, is a business. But businesses are disposable. Come on now. So could it be And even before I was a mover, I was doing that for about 10 years. Well, no, about 7, 8 years in line. And I haven't talked to a lot of people. I rarely seen the same person every day. And that was one thing I loved about moving. You know, it wasn't a routine. Even before I was a mover, man, I got this thing about me where people just come to me and talk to me. People older than me. I always had that maturity about myself, that communication, you know. I was non-judgmental, you know. I'm actually a big ear. So I've had you know what I'm saying? I've had conversations about relationships with, even if I didn't ask for it, if I didn't even want to talk. But from what I understand, you know, it's a kind of little, maybe I need to work on it, but I'll try to give people some attention, because it might be that one day where somebody might be feeling how I'm feeling, you know, don't want to be bothered, but I might need them. You know, just to talk, to vent. And I want to talk to them. So, but I've had conversations. I've listened to people. And most of the time, or some of the time, they really didn't like the person that they married or who they was with. I just seen a short that said that Shaq ex-wife, what's her name, Shawnee, allegedly, never really loved him. Hold on. What's the difference between Shaq and Steph? Shaq was just cheating. But Steph is doing what society told him to do. Deal with it. Yeah, she might act out and all that, but you better not. But the common denominator is neither, allegedly, Shaq wife or Steph wife didn't never loved, never liked her. Allegedly, Michelle Obama, look what she doing. She can't keep Obama name out her mouth, and not in a good way. Could it be that they seen these people trajectory? Allegedly, Shawnee knew Shaq was going to the league. Provider, security. Aisha knew Steph was going to the league. Provider, security. Look, my grandmama, 92 years old. She finna be 93. And for to be that age, she still up to date with stuff. She still, you know, and I could conversate with my grandmama. I said, Grandmama, you used to say that she really didn't want to be in this position like that. She want to be a career girl and all of that. Like, but now she having doubts and all that. My grandmama laughed. 92-year-old lady laughed. And my grandmama said, well, why she didn't be a career girl then? And I want you to say something about my grandmama. Is she wrong? Women. Somebody who been on this earth 90, maybe say 3 years. Is she wrong? Because could it be possible she was taught to get a provider and a protector, somebody secure to take care of you, which is nothing wrong with that. But she wasn't taught that she had to like the man. Think about it. Me, we weren't taught that the woman had to like us. We were just taught to take care of the woman, blah, 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 and all that. I got me a trophy, and we're visible. So we gonna get with a woman that turn us on. You know, every man is different. You know, whatever attracts us, that's what we want. And we want to have sex with our girlfriend. Men want to have sex with their wives. That's one of the number one complaints. Sexless marriages. But we don't want to talk about sex and attractiveness. And it be some of the men that be killing me, but what are we talking about? That's a man's fuel, a man's fuel, appreciation from his family, gratitude from his family, and from his family and kids, and the love from his woman. And stuff is under their love, sex. But in order for the man to get sex, don't you think the woman got to be attracted to him? Listen to what the women are saying. Yeah, you'll be frustrated too, have an attitude without knowing it too, if you just constantly around somebody you don't like. For whatever reason. And we're talking about women here, emotional creatures. They're emotional, so of course they gonna express it. They can't help it. But they're sitting there saying we did what we were told. And shit, feminism hiding it. But that's another story. I don't want to talk about it. I'm trying to stay on the topic. But feminism made it worse. It didn't do. But when you didn't sit down and elaborate, let's just be honest. Come on. Men, are you really going to sit down and tell your daughter, make sure he know how to warm up your okra box? I don't man for to tell their daughter that. Make sure you like this man. You turn on by this man. Let's just be real, fathers, men. But what we complain about when we in a relationship with women, our daughter is a woman too. In order for them to have a child, to give us grandkids, they gotta have sex. Yeah, we can keep on ignoring it if we want to. Keep on ignoring it. But men out here complaining about sex. The wife, they got to pay all these bills and blah, 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 and all of that. But the wife ain't having sex with them. But we can't talk about it. We're sitting here telling a woman, just because this man is doing this for you, you need to respect this man. And how she gonna, like, okay, you can respect somebody and not like them. But we're talking about relationship, being with somebody every day. You gotta be intimate with somebody you don't like. What are we talking about? If we can't be with nobody we don't like, why are we expecting them to? You can easily love somebody and hate them. But we're talking about loving somebody and liking them. You can love your baby mom and your baby dad because they gave you the child, your child. but you can't stand their ass. That's light. You can't stand them. That's attracting. You can't stand their ass. Because you probably didn't like them in the beginning. It was just strong sexual energy right there. Sex was good. Come on. Let's not act like we talking reality. Oh, let's not get up on the church, people in the church. Woo. Don't. You got your freaks in the church. And you got your one that's closed in due to what's been taught, what's expected. You got some people in the church married right now for years and all that, and the man miserable as hell. He ain't hardly getting no sex. He ain't getting no oral from his wife. He ain't blah. But the town know he cheating because he got that woman over there that's doing all that's satisfying him sexually. Why are we trying to act like sex is not important? I thought God gave you permission when you were married to do whatever it is in the bedroom. When you married, I thought he gave you permission. That's what I thought. Satisfy my soul. Satisfy my every little action is a reaction. Or can't you see what you done for me? I'm happy inside. Oh, man, come on, man. You talk like that when you're attracted to somebody. Okay, look how women act. Okay, let's talk about Pookies and Pookies and Ray Rays, whatever we call them. Why are the women attracted to the so-called Pookies and blah, blah, blah? And some people who are Pookies and Ray Rays are not Pookies and Ray Rays. So it's just whatever position you are in life and all that, you're a Pook or you're a Ray Ray. You just, But I know a situation right now that, listen, I ain't calling no names in there. A girl married a dude. When she went with a dude for years, it was my cousin. These two really like each other. So they really like each other. Now, life sort of separated them a little bit, but they kept in touch, because of the attractiveness. They like each other. They just went on two different paths. But she met someone in college, which I went to school with dude. I went to school with both of them. And they met, blah, blah, blah. And supposedly before they got married, he told her what he wanted, what he needed from her, blah, blah, blah. What you do? This is what I need as a man, blah, 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 and all that. And for her, which I understand, he wasn't who she was attractive to. But on paper, he was the better. And that's what her parents. Now, my cousin, who she really liked, he didn't have as much on paper. He didn't look like him. But my cousin is her good guy. Listen to what I say. I'm careful with my words. My cousin is her good guy to her. But the dude who I went to college and graduated and all that, on paper, is her parents' good guy. Now, years don't pass. They got kids together. She's not happy. He's not happy. He cheating, blah, blah, blah. And you know what's so crazy? Now, my cousin is the one that she reach out to. She cried to, blah, 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 talk about him and we talking reality. If I was in that situation, I was mad and all that, I'd be pissed. That my woman is reaching out to somebody talking, blah, 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 and they had a past together. And now, Pete this. And the husband ran into him, know about my cousin, told him that, man, my wife love you, man. She always did. Blah, blah, blah. This is what I'm saying. But guess what? Now, the husband is the bad guy because he's not getting what he needed. He's not getting what he signed up for. And he's looked like the bad guy for cheating, ain't he? But baby girl never loved him. She did that because of her parents, the influence of her parents, the people around her. And that plays a part. That plays a part. Let's talk about that. Influence. The people you care about who took care of you. The people you turn to when you need help. You turn back to when you need help and all of that. You don't want to let them down. Because when you be with the person you really want to, they're going to have a problem with it. And let's talk about it like this. Women are sociable creatures. They are communal. It matters what the people around them say and think about them. More than us men. Hell, it's said that women speak, 25,000 words a day. Men speak 5,000 to 7,000. They are sociable. They need that stimulus. They need that. But me and my friend, we were just talking shit. She was like, I wonder how women would be if it wasn't these smartphones and no social media. Because that passed by time. It's attentive. It's attention. It's, it passed by time with women. But we didn't have it. And these conversations that I have with women, I sit down and have these conversations with women too. And most of these women agree. They agree. Child, had a couple women tell me, child, Alicia didn't like Step, child. Shana didn't like Step. Child, Michelle didn't like Obama. Women have said this. They have said, no, they provided though. I have had women admit this. We didn't think about, like, we want to talk that we had to like the man, blah, blah, blah. I've had these conversations. Women are sitting there telling you, yeah, they sitting there saying, yeah, he's a good man. But we don't want to ask the question because now some of it going to come back on us men. Because we taught our daughters that. We taught our daughters that too. We're guilty. And we're human. We are human. Because when it comes to our kids, our love is subjective. But we have to sit down and think about that. Because we can't as men be in a relationship and married, and we having these issues, we in a sexless marriage. We having trouble with our wife, blah, blah, blah. But we're going to teach our daughter find a man to take care of her. We're going to teach our daughter to find a man like us. And we'll go and we suffering. Come on, man. We got to have these conversations, man. I'm not sitting here saying tell your daughter to be a hoe. I'm not sitting here saying tell your son to go out there and have sex with her. I'm not saying that, but we can't ignore attractiveness and sex. We can't. And I think that for when it comes to the women, that's more on the women to talk with their daughters about that. I know some situations just ain't that. You may have single fathers out here, the mother might not be in the picture. And men gonna have to find a way to, come on, man, men can do that. Men know how to, we're the ones that have to talk to women. We're the ones that have to be cerebral. Like Patrice O'Neal said, we're the ones really have to think and be cerebral in order to attract the women. So we can elaborate to our daughters if we wanted to in a way that they understand without being explicit or nothing like that. But I think that's more of the women's job to talk with their daughters. Hey, baby, you're going to have to find you a man that you're attracted to, baby, because you're going to have needs. Yes, you're going to need your bills paid and all that too, but at the same time, you're going to have to weigh your options. Which one's going to be more important? Especially the time we're in now where women pretty much can take care of themselves now. Whether that sort of contradicts with the man's nature and all that, but I believe stuff happens for a reason and all that. We just have to adjust. Times happen for us to look at or to reevaluate things. And I believe we're in a reevaluation stage. You know, we're in the age of Aquarius and all that. Everything's being exposed. We have to revisit. And let's just be honest. In most cases, men and women, when we telling our daughters how to get a man, we're not really elaborating that she has to like the man. Now, sacrifice come with that as well. Because, especially in today's time now, due to, the careers that women choose, your career don't have nothing to do with your attractiveness to the man. I'm going to say that again. The career that you choose doesn't have anything to do with your attractiveness to the man. Just like woman careers and stuff and all that don't matter to a man and all that. So the sacrifice some women gonna have to make, it might be a possibility due to what the man do, and I'm not saying mess with a man that, who ain't just doing nothing and all that, because it could be a possibility that you might be attracted to a man that ain't doing shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, when you do have that man who got something going on, it just ain't as much as you. But the attraction is there. But we'll talk that that's why I'm saying nature, because nature hasn't changed. Women still biologically want to be taken care of. They're naturals. So just because they got money now, making more money than men, the nature haven't changed. It hasn't changed. But due to that, the time and the environment has changed. You got to make some exceptions. Now, women, you're going to have to make some sacrifice. If you really want this man, really like this man, are you able to be the breadwinner? Oh, it's sacrifices they're going to have to make due to what's going on with the times right now. They have put money in the hands of the natural, or the gender that wants to be taken care of. It's just where we at now. But none of that has to do with attraction. Now that women can take care of themselves now. So stuff is happening for a reason. It's coming back to the basics. Do you like this man? Yeah, I know you married him, but do you like him? And that's why, shout out to Ron Wills again, he always asks, or shout out to China White, the Lions Den. We know there's women be with men for different reasons. Just come on, women, just be real. Just keep this shit G. Whether you trying to get a promotion from that man, or you trying to get some money out that man, or you just trying to get close to him to find out some information about that man, blah, blah, blah. Ladies, every time you deal with a man, every time it's not genuine. Just like going back to what people talking about now, how women can just go on dates and just get free food from men, don't even like them and all that, blah, blah, blah. Come on now. And when the women get with the men, that's the provider and blah, blah, blah. Now they are showing that the stats are 2-3% off for men cheating and women cheating. Because women trying to get that itch scratched. They're no different from us. They human too. But if they're constantly being told just to get a provider or somebody for security, you know, and not really being told, you got to like the person too. You got to be attracted to the man now. Of course you're going to have friction in the marriage. Of course you're going to have what's going on now. And women, some express it differently. You're going to have attitudes and frustration and all that. You'll be frustrated too if somebody told you something, this is the blueprint and blah, blah, blah. And it's people that's they did to you, that you care about, and you looked up to and all that, and it didn't work. And you know how it is in the black community when you confront somebody. Hell, it's a struggle confronting our parents, what they put us through. It's a struggle with that. So we talking about relationship and what we were taught with relationship. But these conversations got to be had. And yes, relationships gonna look different. Yes. I think less men will not get used as much. Yes. And women gonna have to really put themselves out there. Think about it. Okay. When a woman really like a man, well, men can attest to this. Men have been in a position, the men that have been in a position where a woman really like him, come on, man. Women you'll be amazed what a woman do for you if she like you. On top of the love. But she likes you. She's attracted to you. I seen a video of an older lady who was married to her husband for years and all that. She even admitted most of relationship and marriage problems are because the people don't like each other. They never did. They running our program. It was superficial. They got mad for whatever reason. Whether the military, they get more benefits, or blah, blah, blah. But how long, if the intentions weren't right, how long we expect it to last? And we kind of force people to make something work. We're trying to force people to continue to go through something, and the foundation is messed up. It ain't solid. Of course, men don't want to get married now because they see something is wrong. Of course, some women don't want to be married now because what they told ain't it. Hello, it ain't it. Attraction. Come on, man. We know it's gonna take some sacrifice if we be with the person we really want to be with. But even that lady who was with her husband for years and all that, when she was talking about she liked him, even when it came to sex issues and stuff due to you get up in age and all that, or just being a human, you're gonna have issues and all that. It was easier for them to do, or for her to get through it with her husband with it because she still was attracted to the man. She married a man that she really liked. It was easier for her to build with the man and all of that. Come on, man. And when it comes to sex and all that, society look at women differently, man. So you don't, come on, y'all just think women just gonna come out and say, okay, I married a man that I didn't like. I married a man because it was who my parents know. They said was a good fit and all of that. They said that he was a good man and all of that. But he wasn't doing it for me. He wasn't doing it for me. But then my parents, my auntie, my friends, like they liked him. And I value their opinion and all of that. Even though I wasn't attracted to this man, he didn't do it for me. But I'm going to pretend because of my, come on, man, what are we talking about, man? But you got men talking about some men and sex is marriage. Men ain't getting none. Come on, man. Why? We're going to just keep ignoring this shit. But we telling the woman, just because the man doing this and doing that, blah, 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 you need to reciprocate, blah, 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 blah. Put yourself in their shoes. Have somebody tell you that, men, and we are visual. Come on now. What's the better formula? Not saying it's going to work all the time, but what formula get the best results? If two people like each other. We got to really ask these questions, man. We can't keep pointing fingers at each other because that ain't working. It's not working. We are afraid to address the elephant in the room. Every man ain't the same, every woman ain't the same, but when a man and woman come together and all of that, and they married and all of that, and when what happened behind closed doors and all that, for whatever that couple likes and all of that, that's what's supposed to happen in marriage. I feel like all the stuff that you wanted to do when it comes to sex and all that, you should do it with your wife or husband. There go your permission right there. With the person you love and all that. But even when it comes to that, you still have some women or some men hold back from their partner with that. Because of what they taught. And go back to how women are viewed in society when it comes to sex. Hell, they say you got half of the women out here that have never experienced an orgasm. A walking chicken time bomb, walking frustration. But they can't talk about it because they women. They curious about it though. They go to sleep at night in the fetal position with that pillow between their legs, blah, blah, blah. What do you think some women thinking about? They yawning. They be touched by a man. Them fantasies. But it's taboo. Especially when it comes to women, they get judged differently for it. But why we acting like sex don't matter? It's in our face. We trying to overlook it. We keep trying to sweep it under the rug, but the rug just getting higher and higher. And sooner or later, we ain't gonna be able to walk in the high. We gonna have to. Okay. That's how the conversation gonna go, cause nobody want to talk about it. But how long? We're gonna keep going like this. Sexless marriages. Women saying that the man was not emotionally there for me. The man is my brother. The woman is saying that he don't make me tick. He ain't give me. He don't get me off. I'm not pleased by him. I'm not turned on by him. But they can't just come out and just say that because of man's ego. But it look like you just coming to tell that woman can't. That's pressure to a woman, man. She don't want to be in that position. Especially she did what she was told. I did what I was told. I got a provider. I got somebody who gonna take care of me. Y'all didn't tell me I had to like him. Y'all didn't elaborate that to me. I did what I was told, which she's not lying. Y'all didn't tell me I had to like the man. This is what happening. They can only wear the mask for so long. Hell, men can only wear masks for so long. Like, what do we do? Humans can only wear the mask for so long. And this is something I want to talk about. Because if women get with the man that they really want, they're going to go against what the expectations that society have, preferably for men. If he ain't meeting the expectations of society or your parents, just like the situation that I explained with my folks. Now look at it, people miserable. But she didn't want to disappoint her parents. She didn't want to disappoint people around her who said was the better man for her. Now everybody miserable. But what's so crazy now, when it comes to other stuff like careers and all of that, we'll tell her, hey, you got to do what's best for you. You got to find your purpose. But when it comes to relationships, it's not the same. It's not the same. And sometimes situations where men or women, but we're talking about women, you had the pressure from the family to tell the woman who she should marry and all that, and the man might be good on paper, and he might be good to her. But why should she force herself to like this man when she don't like him? It's nothing there. No, the energy, it's nothing there. But it's a man over here that really ain't as good as this man on paper and all of that. But this is who she like. She attracted to him. She. Sometimes you'll have them couple people in the family around say, hey, baby, you got to do what's best for you, baby. You can't worry about what people say. You can't worry about, people can't choose who you want to be with, baby. That's for you to decide. Yes, society and our parents sometimes think they God. What they want for you might not what God have that you need. We don't think like that though. As parents, we think everything that we say and suggest is right for our kids, and it's not. Just because what we went through in our life, in our story, yes, some stuff, yes, would apply to our kids, yeah. Take the meat and throw out the bones. But everything what we say don't apply to our kids. They got their own path, they got their own, God has their own purpose for each and every one of us. And sometimes as parents, as society, we push our ideas and things off on our kids, and it shows the results, especially with relationships. Let's talk about it now. And be honest with this, we can sit here and give our kids and them the same blueprint that's making us miserable, just because that's the blueprint that we was given. Making us miserable now. Making us miserable was the blueprint that we were given. Don't nobody want to adjust it. Don't nobody want to, But why not? Religion's being challenged now. Look what's going on with religion. Politics is being challenged now. Look what's going on with politics. Relationship, marriage got it just do too. Those old norms, those traditional norms, and the times now, it got to be looked at now. Have a conversation with people over the years and blah, blah, blah. Man, what it boiled down to, people really didn't like each other from the beginning. But it was good for whatever they had going on at the time. The look, the blah, blah, it was superficial. It wasn't genuine. And some of them got kids. What's the better formula? The Danikas and the Happy Wife schools, all them, they're not saying, they're unspoken. Or why they stay with their husband? Because they liked their husband. When they first met him, they liked their husband. They liked the man. They liked him. It wasn't superficial. They weren't trying to use him and all of that, blah, blah, blah. They actually liked the man that they married. But that's not what's being said. What about we what's the byproduct if a woman don't like a man that she's with? Or she married to a man that she's with? Sexless marriages. The intentions from the beginning was when a woman really likes a man, she gonna put in work. You ain't gotta tell her what to do. She gonna put in work. Like Patrice O'Neal explained. All right. Because it also starts from the dating phase as well. Most of this is men's fault. It starts from the dating phase. You get a woman, that you like. And in your mind, she like you too. But actions speak louder than words, right? Actions speak louder than words, right? Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna like this. If actions speak louder than words, then I know why, but if actions speak louder than words, then as men, we overlook a lot of stuff. I'm going to explain it. Now, if we go get this woman that we like and we think like us, not every woman is like this, but I'm just saying. Some, but not all. Shout out to Zoe Williams. Some, but not all. He picks you up, take you out to eat, take you out to move. Like each time y'all go somewhere, he's picking you up. He's driving. Each time y'all go somewhere, he's paying for everything. He's placating to your feelings. Now the whole time, a man is doing that, what is, in some cases, or most cases, what is the woman doing? She's sitting back, waiting and deciding when she gonna get that man some, So now as time passed, now they're together in a relationship, a marriage, the same thing has been going on. It started from the dating phase. The man is putting out way more and the woman is barely, but that's how it started. Now, the woman is there like expecting you to have the same love or feelings, quote unquote, that she has for you due to the stuff that you did for her and all of that. She's expecting you to have the same love that she has for you, for her, when she didn't do half of what you did. To gain that, what she has for you. But it was your fault. Because you didn't challenge her to reciprocate. You didn't, And could it be possible that, going back to what I said, she's just going off what she was taught. Look for you a provider or a man with security who's going to take care of you. That's what the man displayed. He displayed being a provider, a person who had the potential of taking care of her. She wasn't taught that she had to give, do anything. But how come with the man that she likes, that too many people don't know about, that she did what she likes, he ain't got too much ask her to do nothing because she already doing stuff. Because she likes him. She likes him. Why we making this hard, man? We making it so hard. It been plenty of times we don't seen situations and blah, 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 of couples and all that. And we just look at him like, child, she don't like that man. he just for this and for that, blah, 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 and all of that. What are we talking about, man? All of this is stemming from the program. We didn't elaborate on provider and protector. We didn't tell our daughters that, hey, you got to like the man as well. You have to like the man as well. Oh, it ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna get that man your all. You ain't gonna get that man what he need. And he gonna sense it. He gonna know it. Come on now. He gonna know it. So this is a human thing, man. This anatomy. This is nature. And we keep trying to throw nature aside. Yeah, I'm out here looking at nature as we speak. It's like we a part of this shit. So why we try to ignore it in relationships? Primal, pure seduction, natural attraction. And being with the person that you want, that you're really attracted to, yes, it's gonna take some sacrifice just like anything else. Anything you really want and all that takes sacrifice. This is what it is. And yes, with some women, with most women, when it comes to yes, it's gonna take some sacrifice in women. It's gonna take some sacrifice. Especially in some situations where the man financially is probably not where you are. It's due to the career that y'all chose and, you know, possibility that y'all might have different beliefs, blah, blah, blah. But we keep forgetting what's in the word relationship. When you come with somebody, it's for y'all to relate to each other. We're at a point now, relationships, marriage got to be broken down. It got to go. We still just trying to put a Band-Aid on it and say, keep on going, keep on going. But that ain't working. It's not. It's not. We got to sit down and really look at this thing. Or it's going to continue to be sexless marriage. Men going to keep complaining about they keep dishing out, but they ain't getting the fuel that they need. They ain't getting it's going to keep happening. And women going to keep saying, yeah, I was with a good man. Yes, he was a good man. He did this for me. He did this for me. But sooner or later, eventually, I just couldn't. Emotionally, I wasn't there. Yes, they going to keep saying stuff and stuff that don't make sense to us. And all that, but to women it makes sense. They lashing out. And men are lashing out. But what's the common denominator? Attractiveness and sex. These women don't like, they just give it men, they give it protectors and providers. They doing what they're told, they just don't like the man. the men are genuinely getting with the woman that they like really like the woman and all of that. And I always said that you got actors that get paid and actors that don't get paid. And women are good actors. If you're not experienced enough or not, women can have a man thinking that he's on top of the world, he's the best thing that ever happened to her and all that, and she don't even give a damn about it. But he's serving her. She's getting what she needs out of him. We're talking reality. Reality. What's the better formula? We gotta have these hard conversations, man. That's what's going on. That's really what's going on. Just look at these older couples who have done it, man, for years and all of that. I've had conversations with talking to people in Atlanta, Florida, Tennessee, like people I've moved, just, South Carolina, North Carolina, like these states I've moved people from and to and all of that, I've had these conversations. And the most successful marriages and relationships is when both parties like each other. They genuinely it's attracted to each other. I didn't get him. How many stories I heard that when I first met my husband, I was making more money than him, or we didn't have this when we first met. But the woman liked the man. And she didn't care what other people said. That's what she wanted. Man, I've had some conversations. This here. I've been on the move where the man then married his wife until 8 years later. And the woman was saying, I'm conversating with the woman. That's why I was supervisor now. I don't have most of the conversation with the wife. She told me that her husband vetted her out 8 years because of what happened to him previously. But he really liked her, but he had some money, But he wanted to be cautious due to what he went through, but he liked his woman. He really liked her, but he was testing her at the same time. She told me this. But she said this is the man that she wanted. She liked him. She said, Chris, I wasn't going nowhere. That was the sacrifice I made. I understood what he went through previously and all that. Because she liked him. Okay. I ain't sitting here saying y'all not gonna have no issues, no problems and all that. But it's easier, from what I understand, and all it's easier when both parties like each other. It's really light there. It's really genuine attraction there. Right. So I can keep on going with this and all of that, you know, but yeah, that's just a little bit of what I think about that, you know. So, yeah, man, y'all tell me what y'all think about it, man. Y'all just give y'all honest opinion, man, you know. Women don't speak the same language we speak, man. Not saying there's not some women out there that's crazy or that ain't got bad intentions or cruel intentions. Hey, it's men out there like that. That's on both sides. But listen to what's being said. And we can't sit here and ignore sex and all that. Cause the men are complaining about it. That we no man want to be in a sexless relationship or a marriage with someone he really like. In his mind, he thinking the woman like him, but she ain't acting like it and she ain't giving him, like, come on, man. What are we talking about? But she with him because of what he could provide for her. She was told to get somebody who could take care of her, provide for her and all that, blah, blah, blah. But what she told, like, dog, baby, you gotta like the dude. Well, yeah, like I said, they come with sacrifice. Women, they gonna come with some sacrifice. You sacrifice everything in life. Being with the person you want or trying to pursue the career you want or whatever it is, that come with sacrifice. But it makes it easier if it's something that you want to do, you love doing, or someone you like. It'll be much easier to go through the storm. So relationships and marriages are the same thing, man. We talking about building a foundation with a person, man. Building a family. A family is a foundation, man. We talking about bringing other people into this foundation and all that, which is I'm talking about kids and all that. You don't think the kids for the work, you don't think it's gonna have to require two people that actually like each other? And if you really like each other, y'all gonna be able to work with each other. It's so simple. That's all I got, man. You know what y'all think, you know. Let you leave comments and all of that. But yeah, that's all I got, man. Y'all have a nice day.